A lot of Lions news and rumors in today's show. We're going to be talking about a player that the Detroit Lions waived. What does that mean for him in the Lions roster? Lions signed a linebacker. Does this guy have a chance to make the roster and compete? We're going to get into that. Alim McNeill at fullback. Yes, please. This is going to be fun. Jahmyr Gibbs as a receiver. What is the expectations? What do the Lions want to see in Lions 2024 bargains from players? Who is the best dollar for their services? Let's get this thing started right now. Before we really get into today's show, let's show our love and appreciation for the Green Bay Packers by placing a hashtag FGB in the comment section. Show your love towards the Cheeseheads, FGB. The Lions released Greg James here. Signed a future deal by the Lions early this offseason. The former undrafted free agent appeared in 23 games, one start, over 6 years in the NFL. He has spent time with the Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Jets. In 2023, James played in 2 games for the Jets, seeing snaps on both defense and special teams. He landed in the Lions practice squad late in the campaign before securing aforementioned future deal in Detroit. The Lions did not make corresponding move, so they have a spot to fill for their off-season roster. Oh no, we released a player. What does that mean? Well, it means nothing. He was not going to make the roster. Get that injury designation. Now look, maybe he gets as a practice squad later on, but right now, he was going against a lot of DBs, safeties, and corners. There's no way he was going to make the roster, at least starting for his position because of that. Now again, show our love and appreciation for those green uniforms by placing a hashtag FGB in the comment section. Show your love towards the team in Lambeau Field. The Lions signed a player in Ben Niemann. He's a linebacker, played on multiple teams here, 6'3", 235 pounds, 32-inch arms, undrafted free agent 2018. Out of Iowa, 28 years old. What has this man done for his career here? Well, career-wise, he played in 86 games, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 149 yards for solo tackles. 149 yards, solo tackles. That sounds like a lot. But, folks, it was out of 6 years. That's not a lot. So what does this mean? Absolutely nothing. He was a camp body. No way he was going to be making this team with the stacked linebackers that we have right now. And this is what we got right now. You can go ahead and switch because the Lions released Steele Chambers, and now they put Ben Niemann in that spot. So you got Alex Anzalone, obviously starter. Jack Campbell starter, who picked up last year, 18th pick. Derrick Barnes played a hell of a great year last year. He starter. Malcolm Rodriguez, the backup. Jalen Reeves-Mabin, special teamer. You got 2 spots left. So the odds of him making the team are really low, but if he does, it would be LB 6. Him and Deron Gilbert for an extra spot, even if they wanted to go then. I don't know. So, again, it's not a big deal. I don't expect a lot from this guy. I'm not going to say he's some great signing that's going to take the Lions to the next level, when I don't think that is the case. But he is a body. So, grade the signing. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into some fun and interesting news here. And I tell you what, how about Alim McNeill at fullback? We like a fullback. It makes sense, and somebody we know can help us at the position, can dictate to the defense, Campbell said. That's what you're trying to do. It forces defense to look at you. Usually Rodrigo's playing. He's a linebacker position campaign. We've got stable full tight end, and we're working a little bit. So that fullback could be a tight end. It could be one of those guys. He can do it. Shows how many plays he can play on the driver's seat. Campbell said, was this a 10-play drive? Does they have this energy back out there to run fullback? We've talked about it for a while. My God, I would love to have Twinkle Toes at fullback. Why would I like to do it? First off, we do like to run fullback. And so, that is a position that you give a player, generally speaking, as Jason Kabinda. That roster spot is not needed now if you can use like Rodriguez, or in this case, I would love to see Alim McNeill at fullback. So you're saving a roster spot, but you're still giving that football with the power O, right? And Alim McNeill built big. I would love to see it. Again, this would be really cool wrinkle in the Lions offense. I always think it's a fun idea to have a big body do of something of that caliber. I always thought it would be a good idea. I truly do. And if they didn't want to use Alim McNeill, use somebody else. But it saves a roster spot. You still get that menacing power O, the physical. If you're trying to get 1 yard, I think I would trust Alim McNeill to get that with this big body. I always liked the bus over there in Pittsburgh. Now he's definitely not like that. He was a running back, but it's the idea of having a big body slam the football through a tight hole with this offensive line that's powerful. So it would give the Lions opportunities to get those crucial first downs, and I think it'd be smart. So I got a question for you. Would you like to see Alim McNeill play fullback at some points throughout a game? Maybe not even maybe it's just opportunities in a handful of games this year, but it would be a different wrinkle. Why for yes if you think that would be cool, and for no if you say no to this type of move. Let's go ahead and talk about Jahmyr Gibbs getting more receiving yards. That's what the running backs coach like to see here in White Seaford says. We need him to do the passing game standpoint, the next level. Montgomery said, I do think there's a certain difference between route running from backfield and being a really, really sufficient and efficient run-down runner versus it is to be a great route runner, a guy that can run all types of choices. We know we've seen him do things, but now you can go into the slot and do a little bit more down the field, some intermediate stuff. We can continue to grow in him, and that's what we're trying to do, Mr. Scotty Montgomery. And Jahmyr Gibbs last year, he beat a size of 5'9", 200 pounds. He had 52 receptions last year for 71 targets, 316 yards and passing, and 1 touchdown. And why I 100% agree with that statement, now we can do a little bit more. If you look last year in the beginning of the first half of the season with Jahmyr Gibbs, he was kind of slowly being worked in there, and he was getting underutilized, but they were just slowly putting more on his plate to the point where he then knows all the play calling, and you're starting to see him break out after the Raiders game and, of course, throughout the season after that. Now, a lot of the playbook he knows. He's familiar. He don't have to think about it. He can just react. So now they can put a little bit more on his plate, a little bit more plays to bring his game up and utilize him more in different games, and I agree with that fully. And how they did it was right, and I do think he's going to have a lot more yards in the passing game than he did last year. 316 yards. I would at least double that for passing. At least probably 600 yards passing. I can see a situation because Josh Reynolds is not here, and he's going to get some of this. And he is such a force to be reckoned with a player that absolutely balls. You got to have him on the field because that's what he does. He's a game wrecker and a game changer. So I love this idea. So question for you. How many passing yards will Jahmyr Gibbs have in 2024? Put a number in the comments below. Let's get into the Lions bargains here from All Lions Fan Nation. They gave 5 players they think is the best bargain deal, the best bang for your buck, and I agree with these names. We're going to start first here with Futu Melifonwu coming at number 5. I agree with that fully. I think that the Detroit Lions have a really bargain player here because you look what Futu Melifonwu was doing last year. If he started out really slow, but it was about 3/4 of the way. If he gets on the field, and he's looking all pro safety. He really was. Sacks, interceptions, speed, tackling. This guy was on fire last year throughout especially the end of the year. And, I mean, you get the interception to close the game out to win the NFC North. That is hella good. And I don't believe this is an anomaly. I truly believe Futu Melifonwu is a game wrecker, and you're getting him for the cheap. And if he stays here after this year, he's going to get paid. That's the type of season I think he's going to have. He's a special player. I love everything about Iffy. I loved him when we drafted him, and now you're seeing the fruits of the Lions being patient with his work. Again, show love to the Green Bay Packers. Hashtag FGB in the comment section. I want to see a ton of them. That's what it's all about right here. Let's get into the next bargain player that they have is Kerby Joseph. Again, Kerby Joseph always getting interceptions, a really good safety they picked up a couple years ago, and agree. He's still on his rookie deal, and he's a starting safety. Kerb, he loves interceptions. He loves talking. This guy is a damn good player, and he is a bargain value. I love Kerby Joseph. I don't know how they're going to fix it when contracts are coming up because you can't pay everybody, especially when you got Brian Branch at safety as well. So we'll see. But 100%, he is a bargain player. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I love that he's getting recognized here because a lot of people forget about Donovan Peoples-Jones, the 25-year-old wide receiver who's 6'2", and who can do receiving as an X. He can be in the slot, and he can return kicks, and he's a big body. He's a special type of player. We traded for him last year, and he's on a cheap deal. He is going to be our number 4/3 receiver, just depending on where Khalif Raymond is here, and he's going to get more yards compared to what he had last year because he got traded. He had to know their offense. And, of course, we had Josh Reynolds, and now he's going to be open more. I agree 110%. Next player on here is Graham Glasgow, our starting guard, who also can play at center as a backup, not getting paid much at all. I agree. This is a bargain deal. You're getting a really good guard on a cheap deal who is a starter at guard, and it can play center, multi-dimensional, and he can play any guard position. Hell of a deal. Graham Glasgow, we love you here. And, of course, number 1 is Alim McNeill. And he, right now, is our best defensive tackle. We had 5 sacks last year. He's more the pass rushing type. He's good at stopping the run, too. And now we're bringing in DJ Reader. This defensive line is going to be nasty. He's an up-and-comer. And now, look, he's going to get paid after this year. And I hope the Lions can pay him. He's going to get paid a ton of money because he's a really good defensive tackle. Expect him to break out. And this is the last year. It's going to be a bargain because we're going to have to pay for his services after this year. What do you think about all these bargain players? Do you have a different player? Put that name in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we're going to be dropping videos every single day until we get to the training camp, and then it's going to continue, and then we get to the preseason. Play-by-play commentary, the NFL season play-by-play, so hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest Lions news and rumors. With that said, folks,